Play Like Trey, How to Play Gumbo by the band Phish. So that's the intro there. Pretty simple, but there's a lot going on. So it's this E flat minor. And the way Trey plays these chords, you'll kind of hit that bass note, right? And then strum the rest of the chord. And then it goes to this B flat minor. Same kind of picking. And back to that E flat minor with this kind of walk up, arpeggiated walk up. So you got the 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7 to the 1, right? And then back to the chord. And then kind of hammers that on. You know, that's a cool trick. So practice that. So that's the intro, right? One more time. And then it comes in singing. Mouse staring out of the window, E flat minor to A flat major to the D flat major, back to the E minor. There's a mouse staring out of the window. His car is trapped in the snow. He's planning a family vacation, but he just can't go. So it does that for the whole verse, then the whole chorus, same thing. Then it does a second verse and a second chorus. Then it goes to a piano solo or a keys solo. And for that, it changes a little bit. It's got that first part, one time through the same. And then a second time through. Instead of going back to the E flat minor, it goes to a B flat major or B flat 7. The 7 sounds nice there too. Does that twice, that whole thing 2 times through. And then there's that B flat 7. There ain't no time to stash the gumbo. And then it drops out, they do a vocal thing, sing through all the vocals, the chorus, I think 2 whole times, one without like drums and stuff, and then the second time with drum, the whole band, and then it goes into the solo. So let's talk about kind of jamming over this chord progression. It jams over an E flat minor, just the verse, right, to a flat major, to the D flat major, back to that E flat minor. So, you know, immediately I'm thinking E flat minor, right? You know, I kind of would think of it right up here. So that works wonderfully over this E minor. But the second it moves to this A flat, you know, the E flat minor shifts to the E dorian to get that natural 6 in there, okay? So you got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5. There's your flat 6 for when it's minor. There's your normal 6, regular 6 for when it is dorian. And so that up here, you know, as you go further up, right there, that's your normal 6. There's your flatted 6. So as you can tell, you can maybe already hear, you got flatted 6, 5. So you hear that, right? It's just Trey kind of walking down there, modulating sort of from minor to dorian, back to minor, and just kind of hanging out again that E flat minor scale, right? E flat minor pentatonic works too. And you know, throw in that 6, throw in the 5. So that's definitely how I'm hearing it and kind of seeing it. And, you know, I like to listen for the melodies. Trey's so melodic that you can hear him sort of walking through those, you know, melodies and those phrases. So I like to base it around that. I do like to figure out sort of what mode feels like home. In this case, I would definitely say it pivots, right? So it's E flat minor, then to the E Dorian, then back to E flat minor. Another way to look at this is if you looked at each chord, right? You got this E minor, and then it goes to an A flat major. So that scale, I think what fits there is the mixolydian, right? And then it goes to this D flat major, which I believe is mixolydian as well. Back to, so like you could hang out, you could pivot in those three modes as the chords change, which is very sort of jazz essence, jazz-esque, moving with the chords, and then you're always there. So like you. That, you know, that's always a great exercise to do. Then it always works. So like figure out the chords, and then when the chord progression moves over the different chords, figure out what mode goes with each chord. That's a great exercise. Challenging too, but in this case, you know, you got that E minor, that A flat mixolydian, and then that D flat mixolydian, back to that E flat minor scale mode. And so when I think of stuff this way, I feel like I overanalyze or I'm overthinking it, you know, when I try to be in the moment playing. So I tend to try to find what I feel like is home. I talk about home a lot. And in this case, you know, E flat minor being home, and then pivoting that home just for that second chord to the E flat Dorian seems to be my favorite way to sort of play over this and kind of hear those descending melodic notes. You know? There's that normal six, right? There's that flattest six. There's that five. You know, and you can throw passing notes in there, quick ones, you know. But yeah, I would suggest learning where those flat sixes are and the normal sixes is really crucial sort of in this. So, you know, let's see here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your flat six, right? There's your normal six. Flat six, 5. So that's some of it there of what I'm thinking over Gumbo, but that's the whole tune. Great song. We're at 10 minutes here. That's one of the quicker lessons, I think. Again, thanks for watching these. If you got questions, put them in the comments. I love hearing the comments. I love hearing how you progress playing these songs. Thanks for watching these things. JPTV, Play Like Trey, JP's Corner. Go Cubbies, even though they're struggling. Man, they made it to the playoffs, won that first round. Now they're playing the Brewers, Milwaukee Brewers, who are tough, real tough this year. It's not looking good for them, but happy to see them make it this far. And happy to do these videos for you. So, hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today.